Here, bringing you a game from the CasterMuse Narak Star League Season 4. Up here in the top right, we have IcaruS, an up-and-coming Terran player. And in the bottom left, we have BishOp. Still an up-and-coming Terran player, but definitely more renowned, more well-known, more accomplished than IcaruS. So we're definitely going to have to side with BishOp as being the favorite here in this match. He is also a little something about BishOp. He was the first player to really switch to random at a high level. It actually was not Flash. BishOp chose to do it and actually made it as far as the finals of a qualifier group in ASL, which I believe he lost 1-2, so just barely didn't make it into ASL as a random player. That kind of goes to show the overall really high level of BishOp's play. He is someone definitely to look out for in the future, but he has gone back to mostly playing Terran at this point. And he is playing Terran in this tournament. Now, taking a look at the map, it is Eclipse. So Eclipse is a two-player map where you do get lots of proxy play, but everyone knows where those proxy locations are. So it's, you know, you can proxy stuff and try to put on some pressure, but the odds of you killing your opponent with it are kind of low at this point. Everyone's so used to the map. It's been very heavily played. So I don't expect to see anything like that, and we don't see anything like that yet, at least with the barracks. Both sides making their barracks on the edges of their bases so they can fly that over for some scouting a little bit quicker. Now we're going to have to see if they take the gases. Okay, gas taken here, and this gas taken as well. So probably factory expands coming out of both of these players, but not necessarily so, right? Like, we could end up seeing some sort of cheesy one-base play. Although it isn't that common at very high levels of Terran versus Terran because you kind of can end up holding on. All right, well, the SCV going out for a scout here from IcaruS about the same time as BishOp's. And, of course, they will pass by each other in the center. You can see that BishOp took the time to scout over here as well as up here and even into the natural a little bit because some people do put a barracks down there. So he did a lot of scouting, whereas IcaruS, he said screw it and just went across the map. He's just believing that there's no proxy. Of course, this time he's going to be right. So he was able to scout just a little bit later and get there at approximately the same time. Now, the Marine coming out. Let's take a look. One SCV was kept on gas a little bit longer there for IcaruS. That's a tricky move, right? If you leave two SCVs on gas as you start the factory, that generally signals that you want to do something a little bit more aggressive. And of course, as the SCV comes up, you simply have to pull the SCV off gas because if your opponent sees that, it's a dead giveaway to what you're doing. Now, the second Marine coming out will be able to flank that SCV. Taking a look down at BishOp's base, he pops out his second Marine as well and going to go ahead and float this across the map for the scouting intel. And it really looks like he's going to be taking an expansion. And look at this. As the SCV gets chased out and takes decent damage, a second factory goes up for IcaruS. So IcaruS definitely going to be very aggressive. It looks like it's going to be pure Vulture play as opposed to Vulture into Goliath, as we have no SCVs mining gas at this point. So that's going to be pretty aggressive, but maybe, you know, it's something that you might be able to go ahead and make a command center behind as well because he is optimizing mineral mining. Now, looking down here, this SCV runs by. Whoa, this is really good for IcaruS right now. Gets by those Marines and into the main base, does get picked off, and he sees the second Vulture start before it dies, but actually does get canceled because this depot is a little bit late from BishOp. Little bit of a mistake there. Happens to the best of us. And that actually could be really bad news, but oh, look at this. Starts the bunker. So seems like BishOp is feeling that something is off here, and he's certainly correct about that. This is the two-factory play that we were talking about, and when IcaruS gets across the map, and oh god, he's actually back on mining gas, so we might actually even see Goliaths added in. But yeah, when he gets across the map and sees the bunker, he is going to be really sad because Vultures simply cannot fight a bunker. It just cannot happen. And with that second add-on going on for BishOp, he's going to get into higher tech units as well, like siege tanks most likely, and that's going to make the hold very simple. Look at this. Double depot coming up for BishOp. Beautiful play here. Vultures simply cannot break this, and you're going to see as IcaruS comes down, he is not going to be any happy about this at all. Runs by with one of the Marines, can't get by with anything else, And that didn't really do anything for him, unfortunately. Now, Bishop's Vulture is actually doing more than the entire army that we saw of IcaruS. Look at this. Oh my god, the Vulture getting multiple kills, slowing the command center. So much lost mining time here for IcaruS. He took the risk, and it did not pay off. Look at this. Even getting the scout onto the starport, the double add-on. BishOp knows everything in the entire world. This is the world's smartest man right now. And IcaruS has no counterplay against this, unfortunately. This is a gigantic amount of kills. A gigantic amount of kills. Just the kills alone is magnificent. 8 kills. Just delaying this command center for that long alone is magnificent. Just scouting what's going on is magnificent. Just having the bunker up with the depot walls is magnificent. BishOp is infinity ahead right now. If IcaruS wins this, I don't even know what I'll do. I will lose my mind because it's impossible, right? He took so much damage. Look at this. A 12 SCV advantage for BishOp. He's got 2 add-ons on his factories. Look at this. Going into the armory, going into the academy. Everything looking really, really nice. Whereas I'm looking over here at IcaruS. Okay, he's got mines. He's getting speed. He's going to go for a dropship. That's a good idea. We got to give credit where credit's due. IcaruS has a good idea on a kind of comeback strategy here. Maybe he can drop some vultures into the main base, kill some SCVs, lay some mines, make it difficult to clean up for BishOp. That's, yeah, I like the idea. Now, these are going to have to do a lot, right? If his drop happens to get like 14 SCVs, maybe we're even at that point. That's a tall order, though, of course. Now, he does have a lot of vultures out. He is going to move those down, and probably what he'll do is poke into the front and try to draw BishOp's attention while dropping into the main base. One thing I find a little bit interesting and surprising is that BishOp doesn't have any units in his main base. He's keeping them all out of the front, despite the fact that he saw the starport. Huh. Kind of weird. So this might end up doing a lot of damage, this drop. I don't know. Okay, coming in, 3 vultures, so that's exactly the right amount to one-shot SCVs. He's got his other vultures out on the map. He's laid some very quality spider mines, and here we go. The 3 vultures are dropped off. Let's see how much damage. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, he gets 8. That's a lot. That's a good drop. So BishOp did, I think, just about everything perfectly this game except blocking that drop. So 8 kills is really significant. You can see 34 SCVs against 32 right now. IcaruS has been keeping on top of his production. He's got the 3 siege tanks. He doesn't have that much production is the problem. IcaruS is definitely still behind. Oh my god, runs up, lays so many mines here. You might have to sack a tank. Yeah, that one takes a hit from the mine. Ooh, just barely stops that from hitting. Oh, these mines in the way. This is so tough here. This is so tough to break through. Oh, and the tanks take some big hits there. BishOp getting into the main base. IcaruS, I mean, he was on the comeback trail, but this is getting more and more difficult by the second as the counter damage is being dealt here from BishOp. Up 9 SCVs once again. His mines starting to connect as well. Ouch. TVT, a fickle beast indeed. Okay. Where are we at right now? BishOp with the SCV lead by 11, so he's got that big advantage once again. 4 factory production. He's got his comm stats. He's got... what else does he have? Okay, he has a starport and a wraith on the way, so that'll be able to push back the drop. That's really nice. That's a very nice thing to get into right now. Looking over at IcaruS' side. He does have siege mode, speed, mines. He has a dropship out on the map, which is useful, although it will be less useful as the Wraith comes out. He's getting up to 4 facts, but it's very, very late, and he already lost a bunch of his tanks. If he had retained all those tanks, this becomes a game where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, maybe he can just kind of choke up the center, but his army size is so small. It feels like IcaruS can do almost... Our BishOp can do almost anything he wants because he's just going to get a much bigger army. And you can see that reflect in the supplies. 35 supply advantage right now for BishOp. Now some scans coming out as he tries to remove these mines, but too many vultures on the map for BishOp. Going to go ahead and push that back. Still some good mines laid out here. We have the additional base going up for BishOp on location, realizing that he does have map control. The dropship coming back in, but only with a single Vulture. He's very low on units, so it makes sense. Kind of draw some attention. The Wraith flying all the way home to deal with that. Of course, with just one, like, red and yellow Vulture in there, you're not going to really get damage done, but maybe that keeps BishOp off him for a little bit. Oh, God. And it looks like there's just no units left here for IcaruS. This should be the end of the game as his tanks are going to explode, and BishOp will continue to push forward. He should not be denied at this point. As the mines go down. All right, well, I think he's going to lose too many SCVs here. The tanks on the high ground doing a relatively good job of trying to hold on, but look at that SCV count fall further and further. GG is called, and BishOp takes out IcaruS.